Oh, baby, the hits just keep on coming. Hey, everybody, it's your boy Nerdicane, and once again, I'm doing a video. Now, videos have sort of slowed down because I'm on quarantine. I'm on quarantine with Nerdicane Jr. and Mrs. Nerdicane. I don't get a whole lot of spare time to myself because anybody who's had a toddler, you understand that they are just on you all the time. And when they're not on you, you need to be on them because they're getting into some shit. So that's what I've been doing. I don't do a whole lot of videos with Mrs. Nerdicane around because she kind of just like, it's cringy to her, and the eye rolling, she could sprain. I don't want her to sprain one of her eyes doing an eye roll when I go on one of my nerdy rants. But we continue with the Psychic Awakening. I really like the way Games Workshop is doing this preview and these announcements. They were saving it for their conventions, which it's really sad that we don't get to do the conventions because, you know, we're not the most socially outgoing people. We nerds. I've been going to Dragon Con. I went to Dragon Con for a long time in a row. I think I've missed the last 2 years. I missed last year, which was the first time I'd missed in like 17, 18 years, and then I'm probably going to miss this year because we have Nerdicane et Junior 2 is going to be coming in late June, so I'm going to miss it again. But it's a really good thing. It's really good socializing for we nerds. You know, people kind of, for a long time, they've kind of looked at the D&D and the dumb stuff that we do and like, friggin' nerds. But now that we've had this golden age of nerddom, they look at it and they're like, oh, that's kind of cool, you know? But it's funny because I see people doing the social distancing now, and they're avoiding people in public. They're cordial and they smile, but they're just like staying away, and they don't know how to do it exactly. And then I think of me and us, and we're like social distancing Bane. We're like, you have merely adopted social distancing. I was born to it, molded by it. I was already a man before I had a non-awkward conversation with another person. So that's kind of how I feel in this situation. But you guys keep doing what you're doing. Do the social distancing. Don't get sick. Back to what we were talking about. There's my opening monologue. Back to what we're talking about with the Psychic Awakening. Ephrael Stern is making a comeback. Now, the sisters are getting a lot of love, and very rightfully so. They're amazing. I've been learning about the Sisters of Battle, the Adeptus Sororita, and it's really neat that I'm surprised that they took so long to make them in plastic, because they were metal models a long time ago. And if you go on eBay to look up how much the old sets were, holy crap, the old sets were expensive. But now that they've come out in plastic, they're getting a lot of love. You know, they did the box set, they did the special box set with them. That was like the first week that I got into Warhammer, seriously. It came out and people were scalping the box set, and I didn't really get it. You know, I didn't really understand it. But now that I know a little bit about the history of the game and the lore of the game, I get it. I'm like, oh, that was a really big release. They're really gorgeous models, and I'm going to go play orcs. That's what I thought. So I'm having a good time with the orcs. But Ephrael Stern is making a comeback. She is a very powerful psyker. Her history, I went through her Wikipedia, the history on her Wikipedia. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat history. That's one of the things I've always, I've said it a long time. I really love the lore of 40K. I really love how it's always been treasured, and it's always been done very, 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 very carefully by the people in charge of that, the Games Workshop people in charge of that. So you get these things. You don't get the ham-handed things that Star Wars has been doing with their lore, with Chuck Wendig and Saladin Ahmed. You don't get those injections of their personal beliefs, their personal politics into it, which is great. You don't get the dumb things that Marvel's been doing lately. But she's coming along, and she's bringing a Harlequin champion with her as sort of her now I'm not real sure how they get along, you know, because they're Xenos. They're supposed to be heretics, and they're supposed to be purged at all costs. But he looks like the type of guy who would like try to pick up a woman from a bar without saying a word. Just do it with looks. That's what he looks like. He looks like the type of guy who would do that, and it would either work really well or it would just creep her out, where she'd get a restraining order by the time the night was over. But just, I mean, look at the sculpt on her. They're doing a lot more action poses from what I understand. And a lot of the old heads are telling me that some of them don't like it. Some of them are on the fence about it. I kind of like this one. This one's really neat. I even, as much shit as they've given the one for Ragnar, I sort of like the Ragnar one, which I haven't received yet. Games Workshop, where's my prophecy? Where's my prophecy, guys? I mean, I know I worked for UPS. I know UPS still is operational. Why can't you send me my prophecy? Yeah, whatever. That's an episode for another time. But this is the preview of it. There's really cool models. She's going to work with of course she's going to work with the sisters, but she's also going to work with just about any other Imperium unit. Not real sure. We haven't gotten confirmation as to what she does, but I'm guessing it's going to be pretty badass because lore-wise, she's a pretty big character. She's very, very powerful. And once again, it's just Games Workshop continuing to give the love to the Adeptus Sororita, which they should, because they ignored it for so long. They just stayed away from it and did other things for so long. But yeah, tell me what you think on this one. I'm not going to buy them. I'm not playing that faction, but just looking at the model, this sort of thing makes me excited for the models that I'm going to get, the orcs that I'm going to get, because Games Workshop is like, okay, we're really good at CAD now. We're going to start doing more action poses. I mean, even with Gaz is amazing. I can't wait to put him together. I've done a lot of boys and I've done some vehicles, so I feel like I have the experience to do Gazgul Credit, the new Gaz model, but we'll see how that goes. But I got it on the way. You guys, I'm going to wrap this one up. Go check it out on the Games Workshop community site. Really good site. Really, really cool site. But please, please, please keep doing what you're doing. Go check out my other video for the April giveaway. That's going to be taken care of on April 13th, 2020. It is for one $25 gift certificate to the Games Workshop. Hopefully they will open up sometime again. You guys go have a good day. Bye.